Welcome to The Explainer. Let's see how radical tactical shifts finally helped the Union outsmart Robert E. Lee. You see, the Civil War wasn't just won with bullets. It was won by totally rewriting the military playbook. Early on, Union General McClellan demanded perfect, zero-risk conditions. Meanwhile, Confederate General Lee totally thrived on bold gambles. So, McClellan's hyper-caution let Lee repeatedly push the Union away from Richmond despite commanding a much smaller army. Even after miraculously intercepting Lee's plans at Antietam, McClellan hesitated. That turned a sure victory into a bloody draw. Frustrated by all this caution, Lincoln desperately needed generals who wouldn't panic under pressure. He needed fighters. The tide finally turned when Meade held an iron defense at Gettysburg and Ulysses S. Grant took bold risks. Grant brought a completely radical tactical doctrine to the Union. No negotiations, no compromises, just absolute, unconditional victory.
Once promoted, Grant unleashed a brutal two-pronged strategy. The goal? Crush the Confederacy simultaneously in the East and West.
Unlike his predecessors, Grant fought relentlessly. Even after suffering massive, devastating troop losses, he flat out refused to retreat. Grant completely understood the grim math of attrition. He could constantly replace his fallen men, but Lee just couldn't. Meanwhile, William Sherman introduced total war. This was meant to completely shatter the South's psychological will to fight. Sherman didn't stop at Atlanta either. He proposed a radical, destructive march straight across Georgia to the Atlantic. Marching 60 miles wide, Sherman's troops ripped up railroads and torched factories, intentionally crippling the Confederate supply chain. By 1865, this devastating combination of relentless grinding and total war left Lee's army starving and totally surrounded. Their final surrender perfectly mirrored their tactics. Grant arrived mud-stained and practical, while Lee was formal and highly polished. Then, in a stunning shift from absolute brutality to sudden grace, Grant fed 25,000 starving men. Over 600,000 Americans died. So, does this massive cost mean brutal tactics were the only way to win?